Johnson, Jr.
Country 550 and 92.9 WAME, Statesville, Real Country.
Welcome to Racing Roots with Hamm.
If you don't know our host, David Hamm, he's a 25-year NASCAR veteran, engine builder, and jackman.
Live every Monday evening, we have a new guest
From the racing world with their stories, their paths,
Their
racing roots.
sponsored by Jersey Cape Yachts.
Now here's our host, David Hamm.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to Racing Roots with Hamm right here on 550 and 92.9 WAME, as well as DHammiam on YouTube if you'd like to join us and ask questions and comments and such. Because this evening we've got the legend, the NASCAR legend, Jeff Lemons, and the barbecue sauce king, right? Something like that.
Well, you know, I don't know if I'm a king, but it's got a very good taste, and a lot of people like it.
Yeah.
So it's my future retirement in barbecuing.
So is it barbecue sauce king or barbecue king?
Both. We can cook the best pork in the city or
Yes.
the county or whatever you want to do. I win some contests every once in a while, and we got sauce that goes with it.
There you go. So over to my left, we have Phil Cavali, of course. And he's showing the barbecue sauce right there, one of them. Which one is that?
That's the original. That's a vinegar.
Oh,
Yep.
sorry. All right. So which one is that, Phil?
Old number 75.
Okay. Old number 75. We got three choices here.
Yeah, and then he has Sweet and Sassy and the Red Rooster.
Red Rooster.
Yeah, that looks kind of juicy there, the old Red Rooster. How's that one, Jeff?
It's got a name on top of that lid that says Cocky.
Cocky.
And he can back it up, yeah.
There you go. So Red Rooster, what's that named after? You?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Yeah, I made that sauce, and a good friend of mine, I didn't know what to call it, and they suggested that just stuck, and that's sort of my new nickname these days in racing. So,
All right. Well, good deal. So if you're a first-time listener, you're listening to Racing Roots with Hamm, where we have a new guest each week to talk about their racing, their path, their stories, and their racing roots. And it's ROOTS, meaning roots, like you know, but ROUTES is how it's spelled, and that's more of just to be a little bit different and to not get censored on Twitter. So there you go.
Plus to accentuate, like you said, the route.
Yes.
The route you came through to get to racing where you're at.
Yes,
You know.
that's exactly right, because it could be route,
Right.
the
Yeah.
path,
racing
the road.
routes. Yeah, that's true. It's
Yes, yes. And with my Australian roots, that's how I spell it down under.
Your route, eh?
Yes, good day, mates. So there you go. I also want to thank our other sponsor is Great RV Life. So they are a RV rental place here in Statesville, and it's Scott McCormick and Sheila Duncan, and they will rent you an RV. And I'm seriously thinking about doing that come race time, because I think that's a great idea. Instead of going out and spending all that money
Absolutely.
buying an RV, you just rent one.
Getting like passes to put an RV in the infield isn't that expensive. Some tracks are as low as $150 for the weekend.
Yeah.
Like Pocono's a great one. And you set up and you're good. You go in Thursday, you're there all weekend. You don't have to deal with traffic and bring all your own food. They got the refrigerators and freezers right inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, we would be hooked up, because we could do that, and then we'd have a Jersey Cape yacht if we go and stay at a lake somewhere, or Lake Lloyd in Daytona. Take a Jersey Cape yacht with us, and then we could have a barbecue, and we have barbecue sauce, and we'd have you come and cook. So we'd be hooked up.
Jeff could cook. Yeah, I'm sure
Well,
he's got quite a rig.
Yes.
it's that's why it's called the traveling barbecue show. I have going to different states, so
Nice.
we can make that happen for you.
All right. So you got you got the trailer, the whole deal, I suppose.
Oh yeah, we got a sink with hot and cold water on it.
Aha. Man, you even got hot and cold water. That's great. All right, so we're going to start from the very beginning. We don't know much of your story because we try not to talk too much about it before the show, because we don't want to forget what we talked about. So you were, born and raised
In Miamisburg, Ohio.
Ohio. You say it now. You say it right now.
Yeah.
Because you've been Southernized a little bit.
Yeah, I've been here 21 years.
Oh yeah, that's long enough to be Southernized.
Yeah.
But you're currently working at David Gilliland Racing.
Yes, I've been there since last year, and I run their machine shop and do all the machining, and
All right.
that's what I've been doing since I came off the road in 2013 is machining parts for race teams and jig fixtures and anything they can dream up. I tell them all, it's your dream I make reality.
All right, very good. So, not to jump forward, but we're going to go back to your beginnings. You were from Ohio, and you actually. So, did you get interested in racing before you got the football scholarship, or was
when I was 4 years old, I told my mom, I'm going to race cars, drink beer, and chase women.
Oh yeah, 4 years old.
My uncle had the race cars and was a street racer and all that, and had the Saturday night late models. And I used to hang out there with my dad and my uncles, and they were always one of the top competitors every week. And we raced Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night at Kilcare and Shady Bowl and Columbus Motor Speedway. And it was a one-car garage, and they drank beer, and the race car was cool. And back in those days, you had counters that got off the tool truck. It sort of had clothes that were missing on women, and that was a fun place to be.
Sure, yes. So I played that song before we started here. They named me Daryl, Walter, Richard, Betty, Rusty, Austin, Bill, Irvin, Gordon, Earnhardt, Smith. Kind of for you because it says it was born up in the stands at Talladega or whatever, and I sucked off a valve off a Goodyear tire like a pacifier, you know.
Yeah.
That was kind of for you because you were so young when you got involved in it. So you probably did actually. So.
Well, yeah, but in the 70s, actually, we built our first Hal car on jack stands on the back page of Stock Car Magazine and so forth. You could buy a rolling chassis from Howard. You just buy the parts and weld them together yourself in the garage. And the sport just got too expensive for our group. And at that time, I was becoming a teenager, and my dad was a big sports person in high school. And I went the sports way and ended up having a full ride scholarship to a school called Fort Hays State University in Hays, Kansas. And I'm proud to say that I played with 4 NFL draft picks and one of them I practiced against every day. And he retired from the Panthers after 10 years.
Okay.
So
Peppers.
And who was it? Julius Peppers?
the Panthers.
The Panthers, yeah. What are you talking about, Tracey?
Julius Peppers played for the Panthers, did he not?
Yeah.
Yeah, his name was Les Miller. He was a defensive tackle.
Okay. That's cool. And I saw a picture of you, and I showed that to Billy Buck this morning, and he was like, is that him? And I was thinking, it was either him or was Jack Green? Is that the guy's name? It looked kind of like, but I guess it was you because it was I looked at the comments, and it was talking about you. I should have put that up here on the screen, too.
The picture you seen with the 58 number is probably Jack Lambert. A lot of people think that's me because I had the same build and mentality and
mustache.
Yes, yeah. And
Old
played
Big
with
Lambert
blood,
had that
played
number
with the blood.
58.
Yeah, I was number 75 is my football number, and it's been my number throughout life, and that's where the 75 comes from, the original number 75.
I was getting confused between Darryl Green and Jack Lambert, maybe. I don't remember, but anyway, that's who it was.
Right.
Jack Lambert. Okay, so, but anyway, so you played football in high school, and I mean, you went to a scholarship.
Full ride scholarship.
And that was
Fort Hays State University, FHSU, in Hays, Kansas. It's directly in the middle of the United States. You want to have the wind blow or snow blow or have 114 degrees. And we practiced. I went there on August 13th. My parents dumped me out 15 hours from home on a straight trip down I-70. And I lived in the football stadium. That was part of my scholarship. I got to live in the football stadium. We didn't have no air conditioning. And we practiced 4 times a day, and they had livestock warnings out there, and we were out there full-fledged hitting each other, beating each other up.
Okay, did you have to go to class too?
Well, I did go to class sometimes.
Sometimes. That kind of sounds like one of those deals. They just want you there to play football.
Right, yeah. We had a study hall, and we had girls that did some things for us, and, it's a typical 1980s.
What do you mean? No, I'm kidding.
They did papers and
took
notes for us and went to class when we were supposed to be, said, oh, yeah, that's me, and the professor didn't look,
Yes.
on the attendance call. So,
how about that? That's good stuff. So when you got out of college, when did you get your inspiration to get back into racing?
I always was involved in my heart with racing. My football career ended in 1986. I was too small to go to NFL. That was the beginning of the giant guys they got right now at offensive guard. I was a dime a dozen throughout the country of NCAA football. So, I played on a team that led the nation in total passing and offense at Division II level, but I was a dime a dozen. So I graduated in '88 and got my degree and came back home, and my uncle had a sign shop, and that was my temporary job in the summertime. So trying to figure out if I was going to get in the farming business, selling seed corn or whatever, because my degree's in agriculture, that I would figure it out. Well, in the meantime, my uncle sponsored a little 4-cylinder car building door panels and whatever, and I ended up building some door panels, and they wanted me to come to the shop and put some wheel tubs in, do this and that. It was a Bob's Transmission in Minesboro, Ohio. It was a 2-bay shop. One car was getting a transmission in it, and one bay, and right next to it was a race car. So that's where my true start started in 1990.
Okay.
And eventually that became a late model, and then the late model, a person, Bobby Malone, I worked with on the late model, he started working on an ARCA car for the famous Jerry Guerra, which is a 4-time champion in the 70s twice and the 80s twice, with a couple famous drivers in the ARCA series. What everybody don't understand in today's world, ARCA and USAC and NASCAR, depending on what part of the country you were, in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, was at the same level.
Okay.
And so a very competitive series. So he asked me the next year to come work on that car and the ARCA car, and that was just a little part-time deal. And then 1993, it became a full-time deal. We got a sponsor that ended up buying the team, and it became full-time, and I became the first full-time employee. So that went that route, and in 96, we changed drivers and hired Frank Kimmel, and that became the dynasty of the Frank Kimmel dynasty right there.
Wow. Yeah, he won a lot of races.
Yeah.
Oh, Kimmel did. So with your football background, did you have any involvement on the pit crew?
Yeah, I changed rear tires. Most of the time, I was a rear tire changer, but I've gassed, I've catch can, I've carried. My last pit stop, I was just talking about coming to the radio show today. My last pit stop was at Rockingham in 2002, and I changed front tires, and I had to carry my own tire.
Okay.
I was on a little back marker team at the time, crew chiefing it, and we didn't have enough pit crew volunteers or whatever, so I changed the front tires because I didn't trust anybody else running out in front of the car.
Sure.
And I carried a 70-pound tire and myself and did the job. So
on the 2001, were you with the Armando's team, the Channel Lock? Because I was on that team, the 11 car, but I was trying to remember.
Yeah, 2001. In 2000, we worked together at Sapco, and I was the crew chief for the Kenny Irwin / Sterling Marlin car after the mishap with Kenny, and very unfortunate. But we got bought off by Chip Ganassi, and Chip didn't want the Bush stuff, and it was sort of a Armando's deal at Sapco, the three Bush cars.
Right.
So we went to Joe Falk's building late that year, and in 2001, it was Fitz Bradshaw originally was named Highline Performance Group, and we had 3 Bush cars that came down to end up being 1 at the end of that year. Because
2002, I believe, is whenever did they put Kerry Earnhardt in it?
Yes.
Because then I didn't come back that year.
Right. In 2001, when they couldn't get full sponsorship for Blaze after 5 years, 5 races, and my car couldn't get sponsorship at all after the Vegas test, they rented my team out to Joe Falk, which we rented his building for his son's program, and that's when I did a Bush ARCA deal, 15, 18 races with Joe Falk.
Okay, yeah, because I had left and went out to Bill Davis at that point.
Right.
So, and then of course Blaze Alexander passed away. Was 2001?
Yes.
Yeah, at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, of course, in the ARCA series.
Right.
Yeah, with Kerry Earnhardt.
Yeah,
in that accident.
they wrecked for the win, him and Kerry and Blaze, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was supposed to be there for as a jackman for him that evening, but I had a wedding to go to, so it worked out as far as that goes. I mean, just things happen.
Right.
I guess everything happens.
Unfortunately, if you've been in this business 30 years like I have, you see those things, or you are part of those things, and it's and it could be the dangers. You being a jackman, a good friend of mine is a jackman, was a past jackman, and people that don't know the business, especially at this time in life, you worked on the cars, you worked in the shop, we were pit crew. We did everything, and I always, evaluate the race and got somebody going there that don't know. Sometimes it's a female, that, hey, you rode the hood. He rode the hood. What do you mean he rode the hood? I'm talking about he rode the hood. I mean, he was riding across the hood, carrying the jack, and land on the other side, jacked it up, put the tires on, come back,
Yeah.
There's a chance to take and get hit,
Sure.
The big thing when I was changing rear tires, we didn't have to take the tires back to the wall, and the pit stalls were so small. I was always having the nose run across my back leg, so I always kept the tire behind me.
Yeah.
So that the tire would be like a rubber bumper and push my legs out of the way, and I'd turn and get back up and go change the other side. And,
Right. Yeah. It is funny how you pick up on these little things that help you to be that much faster or whatever, or give you more leverage or whatever it is. And you saw the tire changer. I don't remember whose pit crew it was this last week when the carrier was coming out and the car hit the carrier, knocked the tire into his back.
Yeah.
The tire changer. It looked worse than it was. I mean, but he was okay.
Yeah.
But it was like, wow. You think about Mike Ritz getting killed in 1990 at Atlanta Journal 500. Races like that and things on pit road, but that was back when there wasn't a speed limit and stuff too, of course.
That's the thing, when I was over pit wall, we didn't have fire suits, we didn't have helmets, and I get on these young guys' butt all the time because they think they're doing something, this and that. They don't even work on the car. Yeah. And I'm like, the coolest thing I had on was sunglasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you had a sunglass deal, you were pretty proud of that.
Right. We didn't have fire suits, and we,
never dreamed you'd ever have to wear a helmet.
Right, a helmet.
Never.
Yeah.
Right.
I was behind the wall support as handing the gas can over one time when I was at Haas in 2007. That's the only time in my life that I've wore a fire suit. And I've been at the racetrack from 1991 to 2013.
Okay. Yeah. I switched to a fire suit as a jackman because I kept burning my arms, grabbing the inside of the tire and throwing them back. And then I would always get singed right across my forearm. So, yeah. But, yeah, those were definitely a different time than things are the way they are now. But whenever I was with Blaze Alexander, and I ended up flying up for the funeral with Kerry Earnhardt on the Earnhardt plane. And I remember the first time I saw Kerry when I walked in the airport, I won't really talk about that conversation, but it was like he felt so bad. It wasn't his fault, but it's just, that's the way it is. We're like one big racing family, and you always feel bad for everyone involved.
There's a lot to the story. It don't need to be said, but Blaze is the one that got me the job at Zapco. That's how we've got to meet each other.
Yeah, Blaze was a super cool guy. Yeah. Remember Blaze, don't you, Phil?
Oh yeah.
He was.
He had
suave.
the coolest mullet.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It was like
sure
something out
Little
of
curls.
the Arabian desert or something.
Yeah. He was like super Mr. Suave.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was a cool dude.
He had a cell phone.
Every time I drive up Route 15 through Pennsylvania, there's always that big Blaze Alexander Chevrolet.
Is it Montoursville up there?
Yeah. There's his name's
Blaze Alexander
everywhere up there.
Chevrolet.
Yeah. Big posters and billboard signs. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. His dad's dealerships up there.
Oh yeah, his name was not forgotten up that way at all.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so after that, where did you go from 2001, 2002?
Well, 2002, I went back to ARCA and crew chief for Andy Belmont and did partial year there, and some things changed like they always do in racing, and whether what it is, it is, and then ended up. That was he had to let me go. I had just talked my girlfriend in from quitting her job of 21 years in Ohio to move down to be with me, and bought the house. And Tuesday I got let go, and Friday I had to sign on the line to buy the house, and I had to call her and say, okay, this is the deal. I'm gonna be a crew chief. This is what happens for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. You will still want to do this. And she did. So that was an interesting year. And then I went to work for a backmarker Bush team to help make the house payment. And then 2003, got suckered in on a bad deal that never came about. And ended up opening up a marina on Lake Norman, at the north end of Lake Norman, called JB Frogs, and for Brenda and I, and ended up that racing at that time had 71 full-fledged Busch cars in 2000, and then as 2001, 2002 came along, they kept dwindling down. So the jobs went farther and farther away. So in 2003, I was just part-time crew chief and getting piecemeal in here, piecemeal in there. Ken Alexander called me. We took Jason White to Bristol. I showed up in Greenville, South Carolina on Monday, worked on the car, set it up, put a motor in it, all that stuff. Was in Bristol on Thursday. All of a sudden, we're running 10th with Jason White with a white car, purple numbers on it with no sponsor, and Michael Walter behind us, and he wasn't happy. So that sort of ruined our day. But that just showed what we could do, what my abilities were, with a young driver. And then I did some part-time crew chiefing at that time with Jack Bowser and Todd Bowser and Gordon Food Services and run the marina. So in the fall, we decided that I'm going to go be a mechanic. So I went all to everywhere there was, dropping off resumes, and I was way down south at Roush down there in Concord, and I was aggravated. All the people I knew, no. And I was like, I'm going to turn right and go home and figure out something else to do. I'm going to quit. Instead, I got the stop sign and turned left, pulled in the parking lot, and there was Mike Abner. I'd worked with him at the Joe Falk deal. He took me in the back door, took me to Diesel, said, we need you. I don't know when I'm going to be able to hire you. They called me in December after they made the changes that they were going to make. Said, we got a job for you that's going to pay me a decent amount of money. I said, I got to call you back. I went up, it was 7 o'clock in the morning, I went up and told Brenda, Ralph just called me, offered me a job. It's this much money. I said, I'd have to call him back. She said, what in the world are you doing? I said, it's putting seats in Jeff Burton's car. I'm 6'3", 260 pounds. You know what it's like to crawl in a car and weld brackets in and do all that? You know,
Sure.
you got to think about that.
Yeah.
So I took the job, of course, and then it wasn't too much longer. They changed the teams up and got rid of the common assembly group because that was sort of not going right for them, and put me on the 16 team with Doug Richard and Greg Biffle, and then that started the second best part of my career.
Oh yeah, what year was that?
2004, 5, and 6.
Okay, yeah, I was building engines for him back then too. So won a lot of races around that time.
Yeah, we won 10 races and we were dominant. Yeah. We should have won 12 races in 2005. Yeah, we only won 6, but I mean that team was a dominant team. It was. I tell everybody, you know, it's very seldom that you work with a team where the team knows each other better than they know their wives. Yeah. Most of the time there's too much, you know, team goes this way, part of them goes that way, part of them goes this way. But we went together. We were blood, sweat, and tears together. Yeah. Elbow to elbow. And that's why we were so good. All
right, well, let's talk about that when I come back. I'm going to take a quick break. And we're also going to give some shout outs to some of our friends tuned in here as soon as we get back to Racing Roots with Hamm. We're talking to Jeff Lemons. We'll be right back after these words from our sponsors.
You know, service, reliability, selection, and integrity has made Little Shavers Wood Shop the #1 source for lumber, plywood, and building materials in Iredell and Rowan County. Their drive and passion for business guarantees you'll always find a huge selection in stock, receive on-time and accurate delivery, and unsurpassed friendly service each and every time. Conveniently located at 3301 Salisbury Highway in Statesville, or give them a call today at 704-872-3148, or visit them online at lilshavers.com. That's L-I-L shavers.com.
Hello, I'm Bob Paxton.
And I'm Ron Malero.
And we're the Fair Tax Guys.
How would you like to bring home your entire paycheck with no federal withholding and no federal payroll taxes?
If that sounds good to you, we've got a show for you. It's Fair Tax Power Radio, and it's now right here on WAME Real Country.
You've got questions, we've got answers every week on Fair Tax Power Radio.
The fair tax is the only truly fair tax, and once you understand it,
you'll demand it.
Sunday morning at 6:30.
It's summertime, 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 summertime.
parties and get-togethers. And it's not a party without Randy's Barbecue. Give them a call today and they'll be right over with all that great food that you like. In Troutman, it's 704-528-2300. In Statesville, 704-873-4444. Don't forget, for the best food around and the best barbecue in North Carolina, it's Randy's Barbecue.
It's summertime.
If you've had an accident, what would you do next? Well, take your vehicle to Statesville Collision Center for fast, certified collision repair. They specialize in bodywork, custom paint, collision repair, and much more. Their iCar trained and certified technicians will get your vehicle back to its factory look and specifications. Come meet the friendly, knowledgeable staff at Statesville Collision Center. They work with all insurance companies and guarantee all of the work they perform. Statesville Collision Center, 114 Victory Lane in Statesville, or call 704-881-0410.
Real Country, WAME.
All right, we're back on Racing Roots with Hamm right here on 550 AM and 92.9 FM, as well as DHammiam on YouTube. And this evening we got Jeff Lemons, who has worked in NASCAR for many, many years, still works in NASCAR. Actually, how many years combined have you worked in NASCAR, Jeff?
This is my 30th year.
30th year. All right. So you're and still going. I'm not going to ask you how long you're going to stay in NASCAR, but anyway.
I got to retire from it.
There you go.
Can't do nothing else.
Yeah, there you go. I think
I was on the road for 22 years.
Okay.
And
yeah.
I've been in the shop since 2014.
And that's a long time to be on the road.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I did 7 years and then went back a few other times, but that was long enough. When I started going, I said, I'm going to do 5 years.
Both of you can hold my Pop-Tart. I did 33 years.
Oh, yes.
I'm
Phil,
not done yet.
And he's not done.
I'm waiting tomorrow to hear see if I can start again at the Glen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're going to get some of that stuff resolved, huh? Duke it out as he shows us his box of news.
My first race was local ARCA race, and we were running the late model there, and my buddy had been working on the ARCA team, and we're at Killcare Speedway. They needed a tire changer. The guy didn't make it, so he come to me and said, "Can you change rear tires?" And I said, "Okay." So we made a pit stop, my first pit stop, and it was for Jerry Garrett, championship crew chief, and I cross-threaded the first 3 lug nuts of the first 5 I've ever put on in my life. And he come at me the whole time because it was only one pit stop race. Is it going to? And I'm like, we're good.
Yeah.
So the next day we had to go to Flat Rock, and they had a rider van, open trailer, nitrogen bottles, all their stuff put in the plastic totes, a little cart that they had a toolbox on, and we rode 3 hours up Interstate 75 and sitting on the nitrogen tanks with the back door up, looking at the race car on the interstate. That's my first traveling show to the races.
How about that? Man, well, they should have had the lug nuts set to where they couldn't cross thread.
Well, back in those days, short track cars had coarse thread lug nuts and studs, and we had to make our own because we didn't have the selection like you had with fine for the length. So we machined them, and the thread pitch at the beginning was off, and that slop made it cross threaded.
Oh, I got you. Okay, coarse thread too. Wow, how about that? Phil, I got some pork in the back, and we got barbecue sauce right there.
Oh yeah, I'm eating an uncooked Pop-Tart right now. It's okay, don't worry about it. I know we need a food sponsor, but
hey, I love Pop-Tarts, man. I would eat that for dinner every night.
That's
if it was.
What I have in my car if I ever get the hunger.
Yeah.
And this one's been in there a while. I thought it was the chocolate frosted, but it's unfrosted blueberry. Anyways, yeah, some big red sauce on there.
There you go.
It's hot enough outside right now. It should be toasted if it's been sitting in your car.
Oh, I'm sure it's lukewarm.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to say hello to our buddy Dickie Dennis up there in Virginia. He's up in near Charleston, Virginia. And so, what? Is it time already?
No, Dickie Dennis had asked me online here, where's the bell? Did you find the cowbell? I said, it's in my car. I'll get it during one of the breaks. So
yes.
I went and got it. So.
He ran out and got it during the break. So that was a good deal. So there's your bell, Dickie. Do you remember the guy that climbed the fence at Richmond in 2014? We talk about this just about every episode. But you have to try to remember.
Do you remember him, Jeff?
I wasn't there in 2014.
You remember on TV the guy that climbed the fence at Richmond up in turn 4 on top of the fence? That was Dickie Dennis.
Yeah,
he's our guy. He's our guy here.
He's brave.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he's brave.
He's brave. So he's an ex 101st Airborne So he climbs up there and he realizes he didn't take his cell phone with him to get his picture.
Which means he wasn't part of the recon of the one-on-one.
That's right.
He is a badass, though.
Well, thank you for listening to me.
Yeah. He's a good guy. He listens to us in the mornings, too. So you probably hear us on the radio in the mornings talk about him.
Yeah, I listen every morning on the way to work.
Very good, man. It's always good to have you. And if you ever want me to say anything, just send me a text.
Well, it's like, this morning I had 3 people come to me at the team meeting, our Monday team meeting, and talk about Knoxville and looking at all the carnage that we brought home. Hey, you're going to be on the radio. How did you get on the radio station? I said, we go way back, me and Dave do.
That's right, yes. Got connections. Yeah, man, we do. We go way back. Good times. Sissy Odell here in Statesville. Rachel Rodman's down in Charlotte, but actually right now she's in Nashville, I believe it is, yeah. She's on a little vacation. Let's see, Paul Rodriguez is in Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Again, he was here, what, was it 2 weeks ago with his wife or last week?
Yeah, it was a couple of weeks ago for Pocono. He came through here, stayed a little bit in the campground, and then went up to the races, the double hitter up at Pocono. And let's see who else we got on here. Lisa Bramlage. Mm-hmm. Bramlage. I don't know, is that one of your friends?
Yes, it's one of my friends, yes. That's a Florida connection right there.
Oh, there you go. She's a friend of Jeff. So Chad Hyder's up in Ohio. But yes, thanks for tuning in, y'all. Don Clark here in Statesville. And Scott Trevison's down there in the Florida Keys. He sent me a few pictures. He sent me and Phil a few pictures here just a little bit ago. Suzette McGuire's out in California. And let's see who else. Rachel, Jody Brook. That's Phil's friend.
Yep.
Thanks for listening. And Linda Jinks. She is up in, I always get this wrong, Pennsylvania. Let's just go with that. She's near Pocono. All right. So, yeah, thank y'all so much for tuning in. If you want to go on to DHammiam on YouTube, you can see us here live in the Randy Marion studio and also listen on 92.9 FM, 550 AM or WAMEradio.com if you're listening online. All right. So, continue with your story.
My story.
Yes. We were, I think, around 19...
We were in the Greg Biffle area, and there's a lot to talk about there. You know, there's a lot of things that happen.
Yes.
It's Greg Biffle and our team, and Doug Richard. And Doug Richard's a famous crew chief. It goes back to being Dale Earnhardt's first championship crew chief, and he's a very good person to work for. I worked for him for 10 years.
Yep, great guy.
And
he's been on the show.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And like I said, we were like a family. We were tighter than we were brothers. We knew each other more than we knew our wives, and we went together and did everything. We did some stupid stuff. We did some fun stuff. We found the best place to eat. You know, people ask me, what did you like to do at each of these tracks? I said, well, the best food is in Pennsylvania at Pocono at Antonio's Pizzeria at Whitehaven. We found that by accident, and ever since then, we ate there every 3 days a week at the 2 races and didn't go anywhere else, and got to be a point where Mama and Papa came over here from Italy. She said on Thursday we'd go in there and she fixes real Italian food, she said. And it got to the point where they just throw food on the table, and we get up at the end of the night and he'd bring out the homemade wine and set it on the table. And in Pennsylvania, you got to go to a bar to buy a 6-pack of beer, and we bring in a small place, had like 5-6 tables in it. And we put our beer in with the pizza dough and sit there, and they just bring pizzas and subs and everything on the table. And we get done, we just throw a $20 bill on the counter from each of us and had the best food. And they send you a sack of subs for the next day at the racetrack. And as we got broke up, you know, over the years, you know, teams break up, they don't last together long. And, you know, their business got better because each one of us ended somewhere else. So there's another race team that came there. So
yeah, sure.
But
did you were you listening this morning? We were talking about the Chinese buffet and stuff like you'll come here no more. You go home. Yeah. Because they were talking about how I went over to Rice Fun and spent $21 on my dinner.
Yeah.
Just for myself.
Right.
That's what that kind of reminded me of.
Right. But we had a lot of good times. I mean, we had. Bobby McKeith was the car chief, and Dave Winston was the engineer at the time. And they're from Hialeah, both of them race car drivers or think they're race car drivers, whatever the story is. So getting in and out of racetracks at the end of the day when the grandstands was full, that was pretty fun because our shot guy, Alan Howard, he was the GPS king. And we went on any dirt road there was to get to the airport to get out of traffic, especially Michigan and up at New Hampshire, because it was just so 2 lanes to get out and backed up.
Right.
So we were down every farm road there was to get to the airport. And it was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Some pretty exciting dirt racing driving in a minivan. And my advice to anybody that wants to buy a used car from Budget or Amazon,
Forget it.
Don't do that.
No. I remember when I worked at the dealership, it was probably 1993, I believe it was. We got cars they had brought from the Charlotte Motor Speedway, and the oil pans were cracked on them. They were like rental cars, but they were using them out there on the track. Yeah, cracked oil pans. We had to figure out, all right, we got to replace these oil pans.
Well, we did testing. We did a lot of testing, back in the day. And if it happened to rain, there was no track drying crew there. So here we are out there in a bunch of Chrysler minivans trying to dry the track down. So there's probably a lot of conditions, just like they were talking about Atlanta being this weekend, how rough it was and bumpy, that those cars weren't prepared for, minivans weren't prepared to be on the track at 110 mile an hour with this rev limiter bouncing.
No, for sure. All right, so Dickie Dennis said, Kellen and I have the same birthday weekend. 2 fence climbers at Darlington on our birthday weekend. We will be on the fence. So we'll see if he gets kicked out of South Carolina tracks as well as like he did in Virginia. Or I think it's just Hopewell that he got kicked out. Anyway, and then Jana Trevison asked if you brought any of those butt warmer wings tonight.
I didn't bring any wings, but I brought the sauce. That's the sweet sauce there. Yeah. Sweet and sassy. You put that on chicken wings, and there you go.
Yes, chicken wing. Good times. All right. So what? Continue your story there, Jeff. We got Jeff Lemons here on Racing Roots with Hamm. So hope you're enjoying his stories. He's 30 years in NASCAR.
Well, the Biffle thing was a big highlight of my career, along with the Frank Kimmel dynasty that we started, but they only lasted a short period of time, 3 years. And that's unfortunate. You really want those kind of deals to last a lifetime, but they never do. Mm-hmm. Something comes about. There's a change. There's pressure. We live in a high pressure situation. Back in the day when I was on the road, we were testing Monday and Tuesdays. Your wives would meet you at the airport on Sunday night, giving you a new suitcase. And one day, Brenda and I were sitting there talking at the house, and I said, the reality of it is I only have 15 hours at home per week, and it's not all at once. It's 4 hours here, 8 hours here, and maybe one day or half a day off, and then you're headed back to the airport going on to the next deal. So it's very tough on life at home and people that's made it in a long time here. They've got a very understanding family, and we've sacrificed a lot to see that. So the friendship that we had with the Biffle team, we just did so much together, and we had so much fun. It sort of just overrode that, unfortunately. And we did like the rental car thing. We left Talladega Motor Speedway. We had a new minivan, and it had that new deal where if you get to the white line, it beep. So we had Dave driving down the interstate. It was a straight shot. Anybody could drive it. All you had to do is hold his hand straight. Close your eyes, Dave. Close your eyes.
Take your little nap.
Yeah, take your nap. We had 25 minutes. Then we'd open up the passenger door, and then the alarm would go off, and he'd think he's like to the white line and swerve a little bit and close the door.
Yes.
Did stupid stuff like that to make up for, some fun and different things. And, we were in Watkins Glen, and we stopped at a place got something to drink after practice, and the guy had a band set up stage like this, and all of a sudden the engine tuner got up and started playing the drums, and next thing you know, we had all of us up there playing an instrument. Somebody could play the guitar. I was playing the tambourines. I didn't know if I was keeping a beat or not, but I was beating them on my leg. And somebody sort of sang, and there's a few locals there, and we were just having a good time. So, but we won 10 races, and we won Darlington at the night race, and we won Michigan twice. We won Homestead 3 times. We won out in California. We won at Texas. We were 35 points from being a champion. We had 3 bad races in the chase. We had 5 Rouse cars in the chase that year. I forget how many. We won almost half the races or more between all 5 of us. It was, I see a lot of people that's worked in the industry that's got a lot of rings for Daytona 500 or championship rings or whatever. Unfortunately, I just got a lot of memories and a few small things, a lot of Victory Lane hats, but I don't have any rings. That's sort of my heartbreak about it. And working with the Roush Biffle thing, that's probably was my last chance to do that until the future here with David Gillen. We're building a good program. We got 3 trucks in our shop with 3 young drivers backed by Ford, and then Todd's based out of Front Row, which is associated with us. We build the truck pretty much there at David Gillen, and he's been running really good. So there's a future there of me. We're back winning, and we won 2 races this year and running up front. You know, had a good showing at Knoxville and some other places so far this year, and our program's building and getting better every day. And so, you know, I had a little lull there between the good times and now. I mean, I went to Haas and worked with Harold Holly and Jeff Green. We had a good beginning, but it was just all of a sudden you're running in the 25th era, and that's not as fun as running up front. And I tell everybody, you work so much harder trying to run last than you do running first. I mean, until you've been there, you don't understand.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
I can't resist. Dickie Dennis said, I bet Ham's got his harmonica right now. I always have a harmonica. You know that. So, yeah, I know I built a couple of those engines for Biffle, and I don't remember which ones, but I do remember building Homesteads for like 2 years in a row with
Right.
Biffle.
We won Homestead 3 years in a row. We won Michigan twice, and we should have won California twice. 400 laps in, it blew up, leading the race by half a lap on the second time, and we ran good at Bristol. And back in those days, you had in tech, you had to count the gear ratio, and the underneath guy was responsible for putting this carbon fiber ring on the drive shaft, and it would count the ratio of the gear and transmission and as they spun the motor over. So that just happened to be the spring race where it snowed. So coming up the mountain, I decided I needed to buy some rubber boots. So I bought me some milk room, old cheap $7 rubber milk room boots because it was wet and so forth and so on. And so we go out for the first practice, and 3 laps in, all of a sudden, one of the cars in the back of the tech line left the gear counter on the drive shaft, and it cut the hole in the oil tank and oiled the track down. We wrecked going into 3. So we ended up parking the backup car and the primary car side by side because we needed to change the motor so we wouldn't go to the back of the field. And I had to lay in the snow and do all that stuff because I was the underneath guy. So that was internet. That was dedication right there.
Sure, yeah. Wow. That's crazy stuff right there.
But that was a good time, and you know the Haas deal was good. I mean, they were up and coming, trying to figure out what their roots are. That was the first year of their brand new building they have down there in Concord. It's a beautiful facility, and getting things straight. And obviously, when they brought Tony Stewart in, you can see what they can do and produce with the championships that they have and the quality of cars. There's a lot of the same people have been there. You know, we all rotate. I mean, our life somewhere on a race team, unless you're a shop person that's sort of quiet in the shop doing your job, basically it's 3 to 4 years, and you're moving on somewhere else. Either somebody buys you and wants your knowledge, or they need to make a change because they think things are stale, or
right, of course.
Yep. So, I mean, that's what happened in 2006, and we won 3 races. We sat on the pole in Vegas. We sat on the pole, and we stayed at the Rio. And my buddy here in town, he was at the convenience store convention out there, and he was staying. So we were gambling on Saturday night after we sat on the pole, and we were both about broke, couldn't hit nothing. So the roulette table was right next to the elevator. I had 3 $25 chips in my pocket left, and I was like done, heartbroken, done lost, who knows how much money. And I kept looking at the board because they showed the numbers on the board. Well, 16 kept hitting. So, in roulette, you can play the number, you can play the corner, and it gives you
I'm a big roulette player.
It gives you the odds, and it's like 35 to 1 if you play the number. So I said, here, I'm going to go broke all the way. And I put 25 on 16, lost. Okay, one more time, 25 on 16, lost. One more time, 25 on 16, hit 875 to the good. I said, okay. So bad mistake in gambling. Should have left that quarter right there.
Yeah.
And then I moved to 18, which was my wife's birthday. Well, next roll, 18 hit. I should have left that quarter right there. I went and played my birthday, 21. Guess what happened? 18 hit. I missed that 800, but then I won another one on 16 and came out to the plus, and I think I was probably not too smart and gave a lot of it back the next day. But
That's the fun part.
yeah, it's fun when you tell your wife, at night how much you won, and then the next day or 2 days later you come home and she's looking in your wallet and where's all that money at?
Yeah.
Well, 3 words you said was. It was all gone when you said, tell your wife.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, maybe that's where you messed up.
Well, I'm pretty off the cuff and up front. You don't hear it straight from me. I don't hide.
Sure.
And I've been told I like to talk too much, so it gets me in trouble. And sometimes silence is a virtue, and I don't think I got that virtue.
So, David, are you? I just saw that Darlington is selling tickets for as low as $50 to the Xfinity and truck race the same day.
Oh, really?
And Dickie Dennis, that's his birthday, and he's going to be there, and he says he's going to climb that day. So you got to come. I'm bringing a camera.
Oh, my
I'll bring my
gosh.
camera, Dickie.
Yes. And I'll do a video.
You heard it here, yeah.
Because, all the videos of him climbing the last time are like from a distance and whatever. We could be like the film crew. We don't.
We'll
We're the
put a
only
GoPro
ones.
on him.
Yes.
Because that's the problem, Jeff, is when he got up there last time, he realized he'd forgot his phone. And that's what he was upset about, is that he wanted to get up there and get a picture of.
Yes.
Was it Harvick?
Yeah, with Harvick.
Yeah, the
going
biggest
by.
loser on the track. He was trying to get a picture.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so he throws his hands up in the air like, oh, I can't believe I forgot my phone. So, yeah, we have a film crew with him. Just don't tell anybody.
I know that they're trying to get fans back into the sport and back into the stands and this and that and $50 tickets, but climbing the fence is probably going to get you out of the stands.
Yeah.
Well, he's already eclipsed that. He's already thrown out of Virginia completely. This is a different state.
Yes. Not to
40,
mention jail time. What was the jail time again? 40-something days.
Was it? Yeah, but that's a meal and a nice warm wool blanket.
Yes.
Real close to the bathroom. That's every man's dream, just a small cell to be left alone for 40 days.
That's right.
That's like Jesus. It's the flood passed during that time.
Yes, it was worth every bit of it. Yes. Yeah. All right. So thanks to Jersey Cape Yachts for one of our sponsors here this evening. Of course, Jersey Cape Yachts is up in
Lower Bank, New Jersey, and they can be reached at 609-965-8650. That's Janine and Big Wayne up there. Pugliese, Lower Bank, New Jersey, 2143 River Road. And don't forget, they have their hurricane season coming up, and they have specials where they can haul your boat out of danger, and you have to sign up ahead of time on that. It's a first come, first served thing, but they definitely take care of that. They're a full service all the way down up and down the coast.
Yep, they build their custom yachts. What is it, 31 to 66 foot or something like that?
Yeah, the 31 for the Little Devil and the 66-foot Big Diablo.
Yeah, so you can get your yacht, and maybe, I wonder if you can tow that behind one of the RVs that they have over Great. GR8 RV Life. Check them out on Facebook.
Other sponsor. I don't know.
Yes, GR8 RV Life.
Great RV Life. They rent RVs here in Statesville. That's the way to go.
Yeah,
I mean, when you're going to the racetrack and you think about it.
That's what I'm thinking
Full
too.
service, and I believe they even deliver it to the track for you, wouldn't they, David?
Yeah, they'll deliver it and set it up.
Yeah, they're just established this year, isn't that right?
Yes. Yep. They're a brand new company by Scott McCormick, who works down at Roush Yates Engines. He does like intake manifolds and stuff. So yeah,
So
and
the race
and Sheila Duncan,
good deal,
who has a business here in Statesville as well.
And both of those sponsors are on Facebook, and I know Jersey Cape Yachts is JerseyCapeYachts.com or on Instagram and Twitter.
Yep, that's right. So check them out. All right, we're going to take a quick break and thank some more sponsors, and we'll be right back on Racing Roots with Hamm. We got Jeff Lemons in with us, so y'all stay tuned.
It's hard to keep your floors clean and in good condition. Well, you can rely on Terry's Carpet Care to take care of your home or business so that you can focus on things that are more important. Terry's is your local and trusted floor cleaning service for over 40 years. And Terry's cleans carpet, tile, grout, hardwoods, and LVT floors. And they're ready to help bring your floors back to life. Call for a free estimate today. 704-872-9861. That's 704-872-9861. And check them out on Facebook at Terry's Carpet Care.
Hello, this is Dr. Jesse Stroud, pastor of Fern Hill Baptist Church, located at 872 Fern Hill Road, Mooresville, North Carolina, inviting you to listen to our broadcast on Sundays at 12:30 on WAME. I would also like to invite you, if you don't have a church home, to come visit with us at any of our services. Sunday school, Sunday morning at 10 a.m., morning worship at 11, Sunday evening at 6 p.m., and a midweek Bible study Wednesday at 7. I would also like to invite you to join our Facebook page, where we currently live stream our morning preaching service. May the Lord bless you and have a great day.
Would you like to change your health situation? Improve your current health with a wellness consultation with me, Fred Lowry, pharmacist and doctor of natural medicine. I'll work with you to reach your individual goals. This includes a review of your current medications, supplements, diet, and lifestyle choices. This is a progressive way to improve your current health position for your future. Great for individuals or couples wanting to make improvement. Call me at Lowry Drug in Statesville, 704-873-2247.
Blue Harbor Bank is not your typical bank, right, Doug Hendricks?
It's a great little bank. We're based out of Mooresville. All of our board of directors, our employees, and the vast majority of our customers are all from right here in Iredell County. So it's a great place to be. We have a great time as a team. The team here in Statesville consists of Jennifer Jolly and Tara Summers. They are the primary customer service folks for business and personal banking. Then we have Tom Kincaid as a commercial banker for this area. We also have the best mortgage banker in the area. That's Lisa Culvard, who many people have worked with at other banks. She's been in the market for over 20 years doing mortgages. And then yours truly, Doug Hendricks. And we have a great time working together. There's no competition between our employees for accounts or whatever. And because of that, then we don't have a lot of the issues that some banks have with people doing things they probably shouldn't do just to make a sale.
Blue Harbor Bank, with locations in Statesville, Mooresville, and Huntersville. Member FDIC. Finally, an independent specialty pharmacy in the Lake Norman area. Lakeside Specialty Pharmacy, where they're committed to care for you, your family members, and our furry friends. Lakeside Specialty Pharmacy offers non-sterile compounding, vaccines for shingles, pneumonia, and flu shots, free delivery and mailing of prescriptions, and they accept all major insurances, including Medicaid, Medicare Part D, and CVS Caremark. They are proud to serve our community, providing personalized attention and care. They go above and beyond to find the lowest prescription prices. Stop in today. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. till 7 p.m. and Saturday, 9 a.m. till 2 p.m. Lakeside Specialty Pharmacy, 480 River Highway, Suite A, located in the Food Line Shopping Center. Or give them a call at 704-360-2029. Or go online to lakesidespecialty.com. And now the COVID-19 vaccine is available at Lakeside Pharmacy. Call for an appointment, 704-360-2029.
All right, we're back on Racing Roots with Hamm right here on 550 AM, 92.9 FM, and also on DHammiam on YouTube. If you want to join us here in the Random Rand studio, make your comments, questions, all that kind of good stuff. But we got Jeff Lemons here, 30-year NASCAR employee, I guess you could say, worker, old school racer. That's pretty much it. That covers it all. Yeah. So, and also proprietor of Big Red's Barbecue, which is, you can see on the screen right now, Big Red's barbecue sauce, that is. But you do your own barbecue as well. I've seen the pictures.
Yeah, we're a catering company, and we do private parties, company events. We're not a food truck. We're not a restaurant. We're strictly a private caterer. We'll do 5 people for an office party. We'll do 200 people for a company meeting, safety meeting or something. We did that in 2018 for Capstone Builders, which is one of the sponsors on my barbecue team. We cater for Randy Marion in Statesville and Mooresville about every 5 weeks for their employee team lunch on Saturdays.
Do you ever cater to the Iredell County Sheriff's Office?
No, I have catered to the Lincoln County Sheriff's
Office.
Sheriff's Office, yeah.
Okay, well, Sheriff Darren Campbell, that is, just sent me a text, said he's listening in, sounding good. I love the old school. So we'll have to set that up because he can make that happen. And he said we would be more fun, yes. So that would be good. They would be more fun with the Iredell County Sheriff's Office. That is a fact.
Right.
Yes.
There's a lawyer that I cater to in Lincolnton, and without getting real involved, we did a Christmas catering to the Sheriff's Department and a lunch. I've done farm parties where I'm out in the middle of a hayfield and there's a live band on a wagon and roasting pigs and so forth and so on. We'll do that. Like I said, we'll cater from 5 to 200 people with no problem.
Yeah.
And when I had the marina, we did some poker runs with our biker rallies. We had 600 people. One of them was for one of our cohorts that died, the Budman, on a motorcycle wreck. We raised $6,000 with the NASCAR community. It was all set up in the garage area throughout Tech Line, with everybody bringing Red Bull and Levi Garrett and whatever else. And Tony Stewart brought Big Engine up out of Daytona Beach, which was played at the Boot Hill Saloon when we were at the 500. Everybody had to go down to the Boot Hill Saloon and see Big Engine, and they all knew us by name. And I had a band stage, and I had some big names play there, and it was a very big event for our NASCAR community.
Yeah. And
the Simpson girls always came around the track and took care of helmets and fire suits and gloves for the drivers. They ran the beer stands, and me and Jeff from Lancaster's Barbecue, we all got together, and the Garlic Garage donated all the meat, and we did barbecue on what I call the freight train, and had some big events barbecuing, and we got more to come. I do a couple contests a year. I have 4 sponsors that sponsor us. We have about a 6-man female crew with sponsors from Capstone Building, Randy Marion, Anderson Uniform Company, and Braun Sons Automotive out of Franklin, Ohio, Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama, and Harrisburg, North Carolina, and Mooresville, Statesville is where our sponsors are from. My business partner, which runs the barbecue show and is very excited about this little radio show opportunity has burnt David Hamm's phone up and emails up, sending all kinds of stuff, pictures and everything. Wanted to make sure I had barbecue sauce here.
Yeah.
Our recipe card that we give out at the shows, that for everybody gives out some kind of candy or whatever. We give out a recipe card. It's got our sponsors on the back and how to get a hold of us, and all our recipes that we have in my cookbook have my barbecue sauce involved. So you can have the recipe, but it ain't the same unless you buy the sauce.
Oh, it looks good. Big red stuffed mini peppers. Cream cheese, feta cheese, crumbled red.
Yeah, you can almost hear your mouth watering there, Phil.
I can feel it. I don't have to hear it.
That's right, yes.
Somebody needs to bring some crackers so we can crack these jars and do a little taste test and get it live on how good it is.
I tell you what, we do have some. We had some of those the dipper chips, whatever, back there.
There you go.
We don't necessarily have to dip them. We could pour it in.
I just threw away the crust of my Pop-Tart.
What do you mean? That's the best part.
No way.
Oh my gosh, yes.
No.
So now whether he's turning wrenches for a NASCAR team or turning out delicious meals from his freight train smoker, Jeff, aka Big Red, is grateful for the people who have helped shape his career. Every step of the way has been an adventure, and I look forward to each new opportunity. I guess that was from, so she sent me a lot of stuff, and that was good. I mean, that's all like your whole deal.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean,
that's my bio, yeah.
Your whole bio, yeah. That's good stuff.
Yeah, there's a picture of me jacking at Talladega. That's the picture I show everybody. It's a modern jack man or over. I said the coolest things. I got my 22-inch biceps and my one pump jack handle that's only to my waist heights, and my sunglasses on from I don't know what deal it was at that time, but
but it was a sunglass deal.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the only thing there really was out there.
Oh,
That
I
and
know.
then the mechanics came along with the gloves and those brick shoes.
Yeah.
Yes, man. We had we definitely had, oh gosh, all the different kind. We didn't have we did have a gargoyles deal. No, Jerry Swites had the gargoyles.
Yeah.
Because he would do the trading with the Skull team. I believe it was mostly in the 3-car
Probably,
team. And so anyway, that was another story. I still got my old gargoyles, 25 years old now. Those
The
things.
ones that Dale Earnhardt has?
Yeah, but mine, I had the smaller ones because I don't know, his head was bigger than mine.
I got the Dale Earnhardt ones. We won, Frank and I won Michigan from a lap down, and it was a heck of a race. And I did a lot of talking, and one of the part owners, he came out next week and handed me this wooden box, and it was Dale Earnhardt gargoyles, the same thing he wore, and that was my bonus.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
those are good glasses, man.
Right, I still got them. They're still in the box.
Yeah. All right, and so I'm going to open it up to questions. If y'all have any questions, put them on our on our YouTube here at DHammiam, that is. And then just put a big Q in front of it if it's a question. And if you want to call and talk to Jeff, we can open up the phone lines for that too. 704-873-9929. That's 704-873-9929. If you have any questions for Jeff Lemons, 30-year NASCAR, racer, old school racer he is.
So, Jeff, do you ship your barbecue sauce?
Yeah, we ship all across the country. We've been shipped to 28 states, including Alaska, through the United States Postal Service. We do a lot of Christmas gifts. We send a 4-pack and do a specialized card if you want to give them away for corporate Christmas gifts or personal gifts or whatever, and put Merry Christmas on it from whoever, or we can do it for Father's Day. I've shipped 6 jars is the most economical way to ship. So if you're shopping to ship out of state, thinking about the future of how long or how much barbecue you're going to be using, I know it's going to be your first time trying it, but if you don't like it, I'll replace it.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. That's nice. That's really good.
Have you tried it on anything besides barbecue?
Yeah, Sweet and Sassy. That's the story of my best friend from high school.
Oh, okay.
He was a drinker, and one night he got the ice cream out, vanilla ice cream, and he put Sweet and Sassy on it. And he said, "You will not believe how it tastes. It tastes like hot butterscotch." And I'll tell you right now, if I gave you a bowl of ice cream with Sweet and Sassy on it, and you couldn't see the jar, you would not know it was barbecue sauce.
Wow.
Okay. So that's why you said that Tracey would probably like that.
Yeah.
Now, what does she go by Cat Vitale or what?
She goes by that, but Kathy.
Kathy, okay.
Is what I call her. But Kathy is my business partner and legal partner and so forth, and my sous chef and my graphic artist and my does all the verbal. I tell her, quit writing all these books. I only speak in a couple words.
Yeah. I was wondering if she likes what's her favorite.
You know what? I really don't know because we do so much food testing and cook testing. Her favorite is to create the recipes. The recipes that you see in the cookbook and the gift cards that we put out is all stuff that she's written. Kathy and I met in 2002 at Dayton Beach, and the team I was crew chiefing for at the time rented her house, and the owner of the team had known her girlfriend, and talked her into renting her house because she needed some extra money. Mm-hmm. And at the time, she was managing a retirement home facility where she was selling homes for people moving to the south from the north. She didn't know what she was getting into. And so we went and got the keys, and she came home to her little 2-bedroom house with 10 racers there. It's like hungry. So we found the No Name Saloon, which was 2 blocks down with a $5 steak, and everybody got something to eat.
Oh, wow.
And then we went to the racetrack. At that time, you were at the racetrack from like 5:30 to 6 at night, doing all kinds of stuff. We come home, and I'm like, she walks in the door. I'm sitting there having a team meeting. I got people from 3 or 4 different states as a pit crew, mechanic crew, working on 2 cars. We had a 2-car team with Andy Belmont in the primary car and Sonny Hobbs in the the second car. Her first race at Dayton, a very good female racer. I wish she had more money. She would probably outperform Danica. So she was had a good feel for the car and had the energy to drive it. We tested her at Daytona, and we had a car. It wasn't really a speedway car, and we put 2 guys in it. Friday a guy, Saturday a guy, and her on Sunday, and she went around the racetrack. I had the car so cheated up to get these people up to speed, so in case they could get approved to make the Daytona race. She got in the car, and down the second lap down the backstretch, I said, pull this thing in the garage. She was 5/10 faster than the pole in a real speedway car.
Who was this?
Sonny Hobbs.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, what's going on? I really like it. I said, her dad's a lawyer and mom's all standing there. I said, just get your mom and dad, go to the parking lot. I'll come get you. Well, here comes ARCA and NASCAR. They're wanting to know what in the world's going on. So I got my hand slapped a little bit on that. But we got her in the race. And with her sponsors, after in February there. And she did a really good job. Unfortunately, it got rained out halfway through and didn't really show the prime that she had. And she had enough to run Atlanta and had to end up having a motor problem, but did really good at Atlanta with as fast as that place is. I've had a lot of success at Atlanta with Biffle and Kimmel and Sonny and Andy. It's a fast track, and you just got to know how to get around it. Same way with Charlotte. Andy in 2002, Andy Belmont, we were at Charlotte, and he'd been racing for a long time. But when you drive Charlotte, you got to know how to get into turn 1. And so many people cut the bottom off. And I kept telling him, you got to drive straight off that wall into turn 1 and keep on driving until you see the wall, taking your own turn, and say, Jesus, and say, oh my, and then you think about turning.
Okay.
So.
All right. Hey, caller, go ahead.
David.
Yes.
You hear me good?
I hear you good.
On air.
Yes.
Welcome, Mr. Lemons. Mr. Lemons, listen, this is Dickie, that fence climber Dave was talking about.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Welcome, sir, but real quick, I have a question about the barbecue sauce. Is that something that would be delicious on scallops?
We've had it on salmon. I would say so. We've had it on everything that you can try. Go to Big Red Traveling Barbecue Show on Facebook. There's all kinds of recipes on there, and they go from vegetables to desserts to fish, meat, beef, pork, chicken. And you can go on there and talk to Kathy online, and she'll inform you of her opinion. She's the sous chef and the test chef and knows more about fish than I do because I don't eat fish. That's a long time story, but I'm a beef eater and a pork eater, and now I got to improve my health, so I'm learning how to eat chicken. So, just reach out to her on the Facebook page or the business card's got the email address up there, and she'll answer all your questions for you.
Stories are awesome. I love them, man. And this show right here, great listening to your stories also, because I was a Surfers member and missed out on a lot of NASCAR while I did that. And David's show is catching me up.
Did you say you were part of the service?
Thank you for sharing your stories. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for your service. I appreciate it. I can't do what I've done for 30 years without you.
It was an honor.
Yeah, you were 101st Airborne, right?
Yeah. Dickie's a badass.
It's actually, David, you say that a lot. I was in air assault. I slid down ropes out of helicopters. I didn't jump out of a perfectly good airplane.
Okay.
That's even crazier and braver.
All right. Okay. For real.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. But listen, man. I ain't going to tie you up, man. Let's get back.
So, Dickie, are you going to be at Darlington for both days or just the Xfinity truck?
I'm going to be the weekend because Kellen and I have been talking about it. You know, the other fence climber, right?
Yes.
him and I have the same birthday weekend, and we're going to be there. We're going to do this, Phil. Bring your camera.
I will. What day are you going to do it? You and I will have to talk privately on Facebook, and we'll figure it out, buddy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. All
right, brother. I look forward to seeing
man.
you all.
Yeah,
See
well, you too, buddy. Talk to you later. Yeah, we'll have to get that plan. See you, bud. We'll have to get that planned out off camera
I'm looking
and
at
stuff.
tickets now. They're not that bad for Darlington, so I'm going to get a couple of my buddies together and probably go down.
Yeah, I might have to rent a camper and go down and
It's
do
only
RV.
$130 to get a campsite. I got get great RV.
That's right, and I get a $50 discount. So if you want a discount for that, just send me a message and I'll tell you how to get it. So $50 off your first rental with great RV. So.
Well, if you decide to go, maybe we can pre-cook some barbecue you can throw out on the grill or something.
Yeah.
We'll make sure you got sauce at least you can use if you're.
I think he can bring the scallops. He gets them from the fresh mountain streams up in Virginia.
He does. Oh yeah, he goes out yakking every day in his kayak. So good evening there to Richard Bain, who's tuned in as well, and Jim Dooley up in Virginia, and he says only Double D would put barbecue on onions. So I was thinking that Sweet and Sassy would go get on a scallop.
Oh, or I'm thinking salmon. I got some sockeye salmon home. I would put that on.
Yeah. All right. That sounds like. All right. So we're getting hungry now.
I know.
So Jeff, tell us your best. All right. So I had someone send me a message. Maybe it was on Twitter, which is DHammiam, and somebody said, you're always asking for Sterling Marlin stories. He said, so it's story time. We'll start picking your brain for the stories. He said, get someone to tell a Kenny Schrader story, which I don't know if you ever worked with Kenny Schrader.
No, I don't. I never worked with Kenny, and I, passed in the garage. That's about it. And unfortunately, with the, Sterling stories, 5 races I think it was that we did to finish out the year. And the 6th race was Stedman we had at Memphis to fill in for Kenny.
Yeah. The
best story that I have is with Kenny, and it was in the spring test at Charlotte, and I was standing on top of the hauler with Kenny and Blaze, and we were watching what was going on the track, and my new girlfriend at the time from Ohio that I just met at Easter right before we decided to make the first trip down to North Carolina, and I took her to the track, and she was in all, never been around all that stuff. And so Blaze says something to Kenny without me hearing it. So the next thing, Kenny comes to me and says, "What's the matter? You can't get no women down here in Charlotte? You got to import them?" So they were rubbing me a little bit, but sure. Her next experience in racing was at Bristol, and at that time Sterling was driving for me in 01, and we ran really good there. We ran 5th. We led a little bit, but we finished 5th. We had a good opportunity there, but she got to go home and brag her first race that she was sitting on pit wall next to Sterling Marlin and me.
Yes.
And then my brother was in the grandstands at the fence hollering, hey, whatever, and she's all smiles like, man, I could, when you get to experience something like that for the first time,
sure,
people don't understand it. And even, when they really not fans per se, they know about the sport, and then you bring them to the garage area and you get to smell the fuel and see all the energy. Mm-hmm. It's just a whole lot different than watching it on TV. So those are my 2 main Sapco stories. I mean, I'm pretty sure I got others that probably don't need to talk about on the air.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's the thing about it. You got to censor a lot of the stories that we have about Sterling, especially.
Yeah.
And I guess Jim Dooley was asking for. Did you give an address? I guess for he's going to order.
He gave the website.
Yeah.
Jim Dooley says he's going to order 6 bottles tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You can mix and match any way you want. There's 3
address.
flavors.
What is the address? He says he's wondering what the address is.
All right. So let me see here. I think I have it right here. I'm popping it on the screen right now. Actually, that's probably just the email address.
Yeah, you got to go to email or Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, the phone number is 828-478-4332, or you can email at lemons, LEMONS farms, RT123 at AOL.
So I know I've told this story before, but I took my parents to Charlotte Motor Speedway. I took them to many races. We went to Rockingham, different places. And the last time that I took them to a race, they said, okay, we're complete. We don't need to go back anymore. And that was with the whenever Michael Waltrip won the All-Star race at Charlotte that night. And so we're left the infield of the track. We're going to go, we get to the elevator. We get on the elevator, and Michael Waltrip's on the elevator with us going up to the Speedway Club. We're going to go out to Felix Sabatis's condo up there. So we go up to the condo. We're sitting outside on the ledge overlooking the track after the All-Star race. And the Richard Petty comes up. He's massaging my mom's shoulder. So my mom turns around and looks up, and there's the King. So she knows she was like in heaven. So my dad got to meet Michael Waltrip, and my mom got her shoulders rubbed by the King, Richard Petty, and they were done after that. So these are cool, awesome, NASCAR experiences for fans.
I had the pleasure one time of being in Richard Petty's suite.
Yeah.
And you know who was cooking for the race? Paula Dean.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was the cook that Richard had in her suite.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's one of the coolest things about NASCAR. You get to meet so many great people, not just the ones that are there that you grew up knowing. You knew them, but they didn't know you until you get in there, and then it's like you see them every weekend. But who's some of the cool, let's say, celebrities that you met besides the,
Well,
obvious?
The cool thing, you talking about your parents. My parents were big supporters of me and my career throughout sports and racing, and was always there. And when I worked for Jack Bowser in '99, at some point in time, my mom was a scorer, my dad was a spotter. Making the things work. It was just way the situation was. But when I got down here in the South and going NASCAR racing and so forth, now you're around the names, the big names, and garage passes, and they were always at Daytona because my dad always had seats at Daytona for 40 years, and they'd be in the garage. But we were at Richmond, and Michael Waltrip and Kenny were running. Well, I was with we had switched teams at that time, so Greg Allen was there. We were side by side in the garage, and Mom really liked Michael, and there he was, and Mom got to meet Michael, get an autograph. He took a lot of time to talk to her, and that made her day. And then at Charlotte, she got to meet Joe Gibbs, and that really made her day. So a lot of people in the garage, just the drivers, the owners, and the crew people take a lot of time when they're really busy to explain or acknowledge the fans that come to the garage. And when you get in the garage area back in the day, there was lots of people, and you always had to watch the people that were like Star Days that was going to run out in front of it, walking in front of a speeding car to the garage. It's in the last minute of happy hour. It's going as fast as they can, or not paying attention, trying to get a picture, with the car coming in the garage, not knowing how fast we come in there, jack up, tear it apart, put things back in, and make those changes. And the thing about it today, they don't do as much as we used to. Change motors, change gears. The happy hour is not as rough as it was. I mean, it was
no second round qualifying.
Yeah, I mean, I was at Daytona Beach with Sapco, and I had a girl that I knew come from Tampa, and she was at the motel, and she was watching us on the race, and she's like, they're talking about happy hour. So I get back to the hotel. She's all mad. You went to the bar without me. You're at the happy hour. You left me sitting here in the hotel room. I said, you don't understand. That's the worst happy hour in the world. We're practicing. Yeah. You got 60 minutes of doing anything you want, and it's tough.
It's not the same thing as happy hour, which you would think.
We're not sitting over here having cocktails. And over the years, I mean, I got, I don't have any tattoos, and I'm not against that, but people ask me if I do. I said, I got some of these scars. This is one from Charlotte happy hour, and this is from here happy hour. Burn marks.
Yes, that's it.
Because them cars are hot.
Yeah, that's right. So we were talking about Joe Gibbs, and I had one of my friends that was on the show, and Eddie Young, he was going to take – I have my helmet from childhood. It's a Redskins helmet. So he works for Joe Gibbs, and he was going to take it in and get it signed for me. So he's working on that. But he said he ran into Joe Gibbs, and he says that whenever he said he signs stuff with with gold Sharpie for one, but he said whenever he first started playing, he had lost three teeth from playing football.
They didn't have mouth guards, right?
They didn't have the mouth guards and stuff like that. So But I thought that was a really cool story because they had no face guards back in the day.
Yours doesn't either, does it?
Yeah, it does. It's got the plastic one, of course. It's just a little kid's
one bar, yeah.
Redskin helmet that I had from when I was 5, 6, 7.
When you
years
started
old.
saying, I started laughing because when you started saying when you were a kid you had a helmet, and I thought maybe you had to wear one of them.
Oh, no.
My head's deformed helmets.
I don't think they had those when I was a kid, but
no, not in the 1900s.
You're no, not you're. They just take a little plastic hammer and tap on my skull to get it shaped back right.
Squeeze his head a little bit.
No, I mean
that's it.
Every day.
When I was in high school, junior high and high school, my dad he made sure Johnny Bench was a star catcher in baseball and was Cincinnati Reds, and my glove was I was a catcher in those deals, and I had the exact same glove that Johnny played with. I still have it. I got all my college shoulder pads and helmets and cleats, and my hand pads still there. They're dry, rotting away.
Oh yeah.
But I still got all that, and then. I've got crew uniforms, shop shirts, Victory Lane hats, company hats. I mean, I got 3 closets of stuff. It's just, I can fill up probably 7 Applebee's with my memorability.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost worthless now.
Yeah, but it's good. It's cool to have for whatever reason. I think one of the coolest shirts I have was from the Lisa Express car.
Right.
From Blaze. That was pretty cool.
Right.
But I still have that. And so whenever I got to New Hampshire, and this was right after Kenny Irwin got killed, they told me right when I got there, they're like, go over there and go find Blaze. He's pretty upset over that, deal. Mm-hmm. And then it's just like later that year.
2 of them were good friends.
Yeah. So, we lost Adam Petty, and we lost Blaze, and we lost Earnhardt and Kenny Irwin, and all in that era, that same amount of time. And then, but since then, it's been good.
Yeah.
Hopefully
it's been quite excellent.
Yeah.
Well, at that time when that started happening, the safety thing was not as what it is today.
Oh no.
And every racetrack we would have to go to a NASCAR meeting and view what they were developing in safety and watch sled dummies be wrecked and all this. And it was amazing, you see all these cars at Daytona and so forth flip and fly apart, and everybody's going like, oh my God. That's actually the best because the hit, it looked like nothing, and you just sort of straighten the wall. That's when the energy goes to the body.
Right.
And at the time, that's where the Hans came about. We had all kinds of stuff developed in between the sprint car nets, the long headrest and everything, up to getting the Hans. And the body was the weakest point, and what happened was the neck started stretching and breaking the spinal cord, and that was what was causing the deaths on the hard, straight impacts. And with the Hans, the big carbon fiber seats that encapsulate you, there's 3 size seats. Before they were aluminum, they were custom made. Drivers were mounting them. They didn't have the skill to mount them. They're just so much makeshift going on. It's what is developed from that. It's a very unfortunate situation, but the safety in the car, the cab being bigger, when they changed to the COT in 2007.
Now that new car, they're testing that new car, right? How's that going?
I haven't heard much about it, but I'm in the machine shop. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the only thing I've heard.
Gosh, you get some redness.
I've only heard them mentioning some of the things that they're working on, some safety issues that they're a little bit concerned.
What issues?
Yeah, a little bit concerned about right now. And I guess
Jersey KPIs.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good time to segue into that right
there. Remember
I
said I got to retire from this business?
Yes.
I don't need to be blackballed already. I've tried to do that several times. I survived.
Yeah. Hey, and speaking of business, Phil, I got those pictures loaded if you want to talk about those.
About the Smart Series, the Southern Modified Auto Racing Tour. Last weekend we were at Caraway Speedway.
Yep.
The legendary, the old man on top.
All right,
Gary Putnam. Gary Putnam pulled out the win last week and 99 lapper at Caraway.
Okay, so these are going to be a little bit delayed for you, but
that's all right. That was the pace lap they had. It was the 4th of July weekend last.
All right, so
that track has some really, really dim lighting there.
Yeah, so we'll go to.
Oh, that's Jamie Tomeno. He turned 65 years old. That was the first time he ran in the Southern Modified Auto Racing Tour, the Smart Series. And there's Gary Putnam, 67 years old, I believe he might be. 63, 67, but boy, he was excited. The number 77 car. And that's the Smarty. It's the new design trophy for the Smart Series.
Okay.
Chris Williams, the president and CEO of it, designed that. That was the pass for the win. Great photo. Look at that action photo by Phil. What's it? Cavali?
Yeah.
Cavali? Yeah.
So these are pictures that you took, by the way.
Yeah, I'm the official photographer for the series. So anytime you want to come on out, it's some great racing at the Smart Series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, very good pictures. That's
Congratulations to
impressive.
Gary Putnam. Yep.
All right.
Great win for him.
All right, then. All right, good deal. So, Jeff Lemons, so if somebody wants to, I guess we've pretty much already been saying how people can get in touch with you and how they can order the barbecue sauce and all that kind of stuff. Do you have any things coming up anytime soon that you're going to be doing besides the Iredell County Sheriff's Office barbecue?
That sounds like we got a new customer there that we'll be talking to.
Yeah.
We have if the sheriff wants to reach out to Kathy, we got an itemized menu with all things that we offer and price per plate. You know, it can be easily hand-picked and we can make for you. Be glad to do that. Right now, things have been sort of coming back because of COVID. Last year, we had to cancel all our contests and cancel graduation parties and so forth and so on. We just started coming back. We just did a anniversary party with a full pig on June 2nd. We catered on the end of the month for Randy Marion Chevrolet in Mooresville at the end of June 25th, something like that. A little busy this month, personally and business-wise, so we're looking for August to have some open dates if somebody's interested. Back to school parties, end of summer parties, we can do some things. And then the October 10th, I probably got some guests coming in from out of town, and we're going to have a party going to the Charlotte race and a barbecue at my house. Probably have some friends over, and like always, if you know me, you're welcome at the back door.
All right, we'll be there. How about that? That sounds good. All right, we're going to spin to win the prize wheel. So we do this every week. We have a winner, and we'll send them a prize and
tell them how they win the prize.
Racing Roots with Hamm decal. And so spin the wheel and
DHammiam.com.
Oh, yeah.
Your email address.
Yeah, go to DHammiam.com, our website, of course, and give me your email address on there, and put your mailing address down.
And your favorite driver.
And your favorite driver, yes, that's helpful too for the prize.
Just the winner.
Yeah.
Not everybody.
Well, hey, everybody's welcome to do it, and then we're going to send them a decal. You just won't get the prize unless you're a prize wheel winner. That's it. So Dickie Dan says he met Joe Gibbs, and he was awesome. And he met him at a drag strip. His security guards were stopping his wife from getting an autograph from him, and he'll have to show you the card that he signed one day. So, yeah, I got to meet Joe Gibbs, too. All right.
Whoever wins tonight, we'll just pour a little bit of sauce in the envelope.
There you go. That's good.
Seal it.
It'll be like a scratch and sniff or a lick and seal.
Send them one of the recipe cards.
Yeah. All right, yeah, we can do that. All right, it's on the light blue, Carolina blue color. That is. So Tracey's got the winner over there.
Lisa Bramlage.
That's one of my fans right there.
There you go.
Right.
Going to Florida right there. Congratulations, Lisa.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got the win. I don't know what we won, but we got something.
A new car.
A free camping trip. It sounds like we can get us a camper free camping trip.
That's what I'm gonna have to start doing.
Right?
Yes.
Well, yeah, the
Carol Merrill, the one that lets make a deal. Parker's Beauties or whatever they used to do that with every hand over top.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good stuff. All right. Well, congratulations. You are a prize winner. And if you can also, everybody check out the Facebook page, Racing Roots with Hamm as well. And you can find me on Twitter, Instagram. Everything is DHammiam. So Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, all that good stuff. So I like to do all the social media type stuff.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook and I'm trying to get to Instagram, but I'm not totally technology literate, so it's a little bit of a struggle.
Yeah, I was looking for you on Instagram to try to tag you in these pictures, to try to tag you and then your barbecue place. So y'all need to get onto your Instagram.
Okay, well, I'll work on that. YouTube, yes. I talked to you. I want to build a YouTube channel so we can teach people how to cook and then we can continue telling these bench racing stories and so forth and so on.
Yeah, absolutely.
David's good on YouTube.
Right.
He can go inside of an engine, probe inside of an engine.
Oh, yeah. with
You're
the little-
right.
Deep in the heart of an engine with David Hamm.
I tell you
That's
what. I tell you what. If you want
Heartbeat.
to see deep inside of the engine, I was privileged to meet Smokey Unick in 1999.
Yeah.
We went to the shop and we were sitting there visiting, and Jack Bowser and I was over there, and Smokey he's a character. And he said, come back here in this back room. That's where all the secrets were built. Mm-hmm. And there was a motor that he had cut the cast iron sides out, epoxied glass in there so he could see the oil flow because he was working on additives to keep the aeration of the oil throughout the system from happening.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a story that, every morning he drinks his coffee and every night he cleans it in the bar salt tank. He lived to be an old man, so I don't know about all this chemical enhancement stuff these people are doing today.
For sure.
Really.
Oh, man. Yeah, I got to meet Smokey. That was an awesome experience. But I was starstruck, of course.
Yeah, he used to come every year to the NMPA Hall of Fame dinner, and I would be like, Smokey, can I have one of your hats?
Yes.
No, he had the pipe,
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, yeah. What a legend.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh. And there's a video on my YouTube if you want to see it. Maybe I'll put it right here, but the card to it. But it was where I went looking for the best damn garage in town, and I finally found it where the site was, but there was no sign or anything. Well, then I went back, 2 years later, and then they had put a little sign there.
Yeah.
At least showed where it was. But I looked on old pictures, and I'd never been there back in the day.
You were looking for it after it had been tore down?
Yeah, after it burned and been tore down.
I was in it when it had the sign and all that. Real deal.
Wow. Yeah, that would have been.
I got pictures of it.
Wow. Yeah. All right. Well, good deal. Well, thank you everybody so much for tuning in right here on DHammiam on my YouTube channel, as well as 550 and 92.9 WAME. You can tune in tomorrow morning for the Billy Buck Morning Show with a side of ham. I'll be sitting right here early in the morning, about 6 o'clock thereabouts. And Jeff will be working in the machine shop, tuning in.
I'll be listening to you on the way in at 6:30, and I'll be working at 7.
Yeah, there you go. Over at David Gilliland Racing.
Exactly.
Yeah, so y'all have a great evening. Thanks, Phil and Tracey, and we will see y'all next Monday. I have Tracey, who's my guest next Monday? John Callis. Yeah, John Callis, who's a longtime employee. Well, he worked at Robert Yates Racing. He worked at Roush Yates Engines, but he did a lot of the cylinder head development with Robert Yates Racing. You've always heard about the infamous Robert Yates head. Well, John did it, and he did work on that, and he drove back in the day too. So he would like to build his own engine and then drive in NASCAR to kind of test it. So he learned a lot of his stuff that way. So we'll have him right here in the studio with us next week. So y'all have a great evening. We'll see y'all tomorrow morning. Welcome to Racing Roots with Hamm.
If you don't know our host, David Hamm, he's a 25-year NASCAR veteran, engine builder, and jackman.
Live every Monday evening, we have a new guest
from the racing world with their stories, their paths,
their
racing roots.
Sponsored by Jersey Cape Yachts.
Real Country 550 and 92.9 WAME Statesville.
Hey, Ryan Scott, what you got going, buddy?
For Billy Buck, let me tell you, we've always been known to have the lowest price to sell vehicles, but folks didn't know we buy vehicles from folks right off the street. And right now, I need that extra car, truck, or SUV that's sitting in the driveway that you're not driving. Come bring it. Let me look at it.